Welcome to Safe Our Golf Podcast. Um, I was like, oh, I was out last week. No, I did one. I thugged it out. Shout out to Tag. But this week we're joined by the LGA, which is the Latino Golf Association. For longtime listeners, you already know we've had a lot of Mexican-owned companies, Latino-owned brands come through here, and it's always an honor to speak with them just because they've been such a big help to us, but also we're so close to a lot of brands, New Wave Golf, obviously Los Golferos, Nico and I were talking about before we started. So I mean I can't do an episode with LGA and not shout out Ralph, Raul, Lex and Serge. Like it just would not be right to not shout out my family. We're joined by Nico from the LGA. Um Super excited to talk about it. I know you did the Los Golferos podcast, which is how I learned about the LGA. Um And something we talked about on the first Los Golferos podcast, on ours, because I was their first non-Latino guest, which is weird. I think I'm still the only white guy to ever go on their podcast. Um, but we talked about how Mexican Americans and Latinos alike get weird looks on the golf course. Like brown people shouldn't be there. Those are not my words. Ralph said that. No. Um, but I'm so happy that there's you guys, the LGA, making it not necessarily like a safe space for Latinos to golf together, but just making it more aware, more accessible, and more fun because everybody should be able to go on the golf course, have fun, drink tequila, drink a beer, smoke a cigar, do whatever you want, regardless of race, whatever. So, thank you for that, first and foremost. I think that's important to say because golf is for everybody, and there's so many great players of Latino heritage. I wore my Lee Trevino t-shirt from Buena Gente just for this episode. One, I love the shirt, I love Lee Trevino, but I feel like it fits so perfectly. But thank you guys at the LGA. I'm the furthest thing from being a Latino, even though I think it's fun to say that they call me Miklo. Um, but it's really great to see companies step up, see an issue, take part, and try to squash that narrative. So thank you. I'm very excited to start this episode. But Nico, I'm so sorry for the long-winded intro. If you want to take it away, kind of break down what the LGA is, I'd love to learn more and I'd love to see what or how us listening can do to help the LGA grow and also get more people into the game of golf.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Thank you so much for the introduction, Don. It's an honor to be here and for you to open your doors to your listeners for us to give us a platform in order to showcase kind of what we do. And yeah, the LGA, which stands for the Latino Golf Association, we're just a community-driven organization that we kind of focus on opening the doors and opportunities for other people to get into golf. So our mission is to grow the game of golf, making golf more accessible with fun experiences rooted in community, culture, and connection. And it's just opening the doors for people that didn't traditionally have a pathway to get into it. So we kind of, and then what I mean sort of by that is even when I was younger, like in middle school, um, I took golf lessons in school, and then there came a point of time where you had to then buy your own clubs to get into to go outside. And I already knew, like, one, my parents were not going to be able to buy me $500 clubs. Like, I already knew it's already hard to get $100 soccer cleats. I'm not going to ask them for $500 golf clubs. So I knew that was out of the question. And now as I got older, I've been getting invited to a lot of corporate events because of golf. So I wanted to break the barrier of entry. Golf is traditionally also an expensive sport. And if you kind of don't grow in it, you're never gonna get into it. So we want to open that pathways for other people within our community in order to experience and brew all the benefits of golf. It's a great networking game, and I don't know, there's no sport quite like it. Like you could play in your 60s, 70s, 80s. But yeah, that's kind of what we intend to do with the LGA.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. There is no sport like golf. You can play it. I mean, really, as soon as you can walk, we've all seen those videos of little toddlers hitting the little plastic golf ball around, and their swing's better than everybody's I've ever seen. And then we've seen, I mean, like the Champions Tour, for example. I don't know how old you have to be on the Champions Tour, but clearly you're not young anymore. But then, like, how many times have we gone on the course and we've seen a guy that can barely walk anymore go out there and have the time of his life just playing golf in the sun? Like, there's truly no age for golf, and I think that's like the beauty of it. Um, my buddy his kid just turned 1, and I'm like, hey, can we can we like take him out and turn him into like like a degenerate by like age 3? Like when can we start this kid's golf journey? Um, but I lost my train of thought. I got really distracted by the thought of my buddy's toddler swinging a golf club at him, and now my thoughts are gone. Um, but when it comes to LGA, you said it's a like community driven organization. Um, and to me, that's what golf should be, and what a lot of these accounts should be is community run, community driven. Um, because without your community, there's no LGA, right? It's just you and a
Mm.
couple other people, which is basically like a group of friends at the end
Yeah.
of the day. Um, at what point did you guys say, hey, let's start this organization. We can really do something here. Um, was that pretty early on, or did that kind of come from kind of years and years of playing and being like, we can make a difference?
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of going back to the community question, like a good thing we like to say is golf is the vehicle, but community is the purpose, and kind of what we do, right? It just so happens to be that we utilize golf as a vehicle to build a community. And when we started it, so I started it with two other people, Francisco and Adeli, and we all kind of got into golf roughly around the same time. So we used to do something called Si Se Puede Network, where because I was new to Omaha when I first got here, I wanted to. There was so much community here in Omaha. So I'm from a smaller town. I'm from Lexington, Nebraska, which is 10,000 people. So everybody knows everyone. Brand new to Omaha. It's a bigger city, and I see there's a big like Latino population, and then also like networking group, and it seemed that everybody knew each other. So when I got here, I really wanted to showcase that community because I thought it was so beautiful. Like there's so many people, everybody was so welcoming, and that's when I met Nadeli at a real estate conference, and I told her about my idea about wanting to showcase our community and highlight business owners that now created their business to showcase their story to motivate other people to create their own business. Um, then when we did that, uh, we got them, we started interviewing individuals, business owners, and putting them on a magazine, which we called Si Se Puede, which just means yes, you can. Um, and then shortly right after we got in the magazine, we met Francisco at another networking event. We showed him our magazine because we it was our first one. He really loved it and wanted to be a part of it. So now it's all three of us. We do it for a whole 2 years. We're interviewing six business owners. We put them on a magazine. And then that's how we all like formulated together, started working together. And then soon enough, we have a Corn Ferry tour here in Omaha. Francisco gets invited to hop on a podcast at the Corn Ferry Tour with one of the sponsors there. And when he got there, they confused him as one of like an attendant or a worker rather
Mm.
than somebody going to go watch, right? Which kind of fueled him up. And around that same time, I had gotten invited to go out golfing with one of my mentors, and I sucked. I couldn't get it off the tee. But I'm a very confident person, I'm like, it's whatever. But I'm not gonna let it ever. I'm not gonna be in that position ever again. So shortly thereafter, like a week later, I bought my own clubs. I started taking lessons. And then the deli, somebody hit her up to do. There was a coach that has a fitness company, and she's really big into fitness. They hired her to be like a model for photography for this new like it's like an office equipment, but the guy that created it, he's a golf coach. So in exchange of services, she said if they could teach her and me golf lessons. So we got into it together. into taking also golf lessons. And then Francisco gets back to us and says, "Hey, um, tells us the experience with the Corn Ferry Tour." He's like, um, not that the Corn Ferry Tour or anybody, like, it's a great organization. It just somebody confused him there, and whatever it did, it rubbed him the wrong way. So he decided, like, hey, let's start our own association and show them that we could also golf. So then we started it, and so it's fairly new to our careers. Like none of us had ever played like a full round of our own ball outside. We never had, none of us had a score, uh, like a benchmark. And then we started it in the winter of 2024.
Okay, so it's pretty new.
Yeah, it's pretty new and it's growing real fast, real quick. So
Oh, excuse me. Still getting over being sick. Beauty of it is I just cough a lot now, which I don't know if that's better or worse than where I was like a week and a half ago. Um, so how Ralph and I from Los Golferos kind of bonded, other than like that's just like my brother, but he was telling the story about how I think he was at a driving range
mm,
and he was getting all these weird looks because he's not white, he's not this, he's not that. And I'm like, bro, have you not seen me? Like, I've got all this hair, I've got a big beard. And then all of a sudden, I roll up to a driving range. I think at that point, I was big into Nipsey Hussle. So I think at that point, I was pulling up the driving ranges, just blasting Nipsey Hussle. And then I roll out, and you're just like, what the hell is this guy doing? So that's how Ralph and I bonded over that. Um, so getting mistaken as a Corn Ferry worker, golf course worker, stuff like that. It's a little, I don't want to say messed up because obviously, mistakes do happen. But when I heard that, part of me was like, that would almost fuel me to be like, hey, I'm going to learn to play golf. I'm going to beat you. And now you guys have a really dope organization. Um, I didn't realize you were that new though. And the fact that you're already this big and stuff like that is incredible. So clearly you guys are doing something right. Um, I appreciate that you guys also, especially this month, you've been doing a lot of stuff in regards to women in golf as well, which has been super duper cool to see because there's a lot of women that don't get the credit that they deserve. Like, I feel like people laugh at the LPGA, which is, in my opinion, stupid because those ladies could beat anybody who's laughing at them easily. Sick, injured, whatever. Those women would like just smoke them. Um, you know, I have a friend who models just for me with my camera stuff and everything. I might try to trade her for golf lessons. That's a good idea. Like, that's
yeah.
genius. Good for you guys. Like, that's great. So when
Oh,
you
yeah.
took
And
those
it
golf lessons, did you feel like you kind of were like, oh, that's what I was doing wrong? Because you were saying you couldn't get it off the tee, which there are days that I swing my club and it feels like I'm swinging like a wet noodle and it's like going everywhere. And I took lessons. So when you took lessons where you're like, oh, that's what I wasn't doing.
Yeah, so the first time I went out, I had never really swung a club or touched a club ever since middle school. So middle school, they taught us putting and chipping. We never
Hmm.
drove a swing because it was indoors, but I never went to go outdoors. So I had never swung a club, and I mean, I've gone to Top Golf like a handful of times throughout my life before that moment, and it doesn't compare anything like being on the
No,
course.
top golf's
So I
not golf.
was, yeah. And then when you're with your buddies, like, I was never hitting it long.
Hmm.
Regardless, yeah, I got invited to go with them. So we were playing a two-man scramble. And yeah, I just couldn't get it off the tee. Like the way I was swinging wasn't working for me. Like my only knowledge of golf was me watching other people do it. And it wasn't even something that I was into necessarily, right? So, um, but as soon as I went, like I got one good hit and it really like sparked my like it opened my view in it. I got the golf bug, right? But yeah, when I started taking lessons, I that's when I really delved into golf and I loved everything about it. I really focused on my technique, my grip, everything in between. So I've progressed a lot from like a lot of people because I've been taking lessons for two times every week for the past year and a half, 2 years.
Oh, so you're still taking lessons.
Yeah, I still take
Oh, good
lessons.
for
And
you.
then last year I was teaching first graders and second grade girls the basics of golf. So I was interning with my golf coach in order to, he would go, because he has a nonprofit called Eagle Free Golf, and he teaches a lot of junior golfers as well as he has some private clients. But that's kind of his mission, and I really wanted to help out the community in any way I can.
Dang. So first, like truly good for you for still taking lessons. I know a lot of people who are like, oh, I would never take a lesson. And I'm like, why? Why go out there and not have fun? And obviously being good at golf does not mean you're having fun, right? Because we see the
Mm.
pros not have fun on the golf course. Like every week somebody has a meltdown and it's like my favorite thing to watch. But from, an amateur level, I don't want to go out there and not have fun and generally, not hit the ball well, stuff like that. So, kudos. That's great. Um, I took lessons. I had to be late elementary school, early middle school, and my grandparents put me in lessons. And they're like, "You're gonna learn golf," and I'm like, "This is dumb." So I didn't know anybody who played golf. So I'm like, "I'm gonna learn the sport and then never touch it again," which is exactly what I did to my senior year of high school. And that's when I found out my buddies played golf, and I'm like, "Wait, I've known you guys since like we were little." And it's never once occurred to you guys to be like, hey, like, you want to go play golf until we're 17, 18 years old? Like, what kind of bullshit is this? Like, that's stupid. So, caught the bug after that. And you're absolutely right. You hit one good shot and you're like, oh, this is great. Like, this is awesome. And then you get that bug and it's like an itch. You got to keep going. And then you can't scratch it enough. And all of a sudden, it's a full-blown addiction and you have six sets of clubs.
Yeah.
That might just be me though. Um,
No, yeah. I mean, it's also one of those sports where you could do as good of a shot that a professional would do. Not like any other sport, like a baseball, I'm never going to be able to throw it. I don't know how fast they throw it. I don't know if it's 100 miles per hour, but I would never
uh,
be able to do that type of, yeah, probably higher. I'll never be
some
able to throw at
dudes,
that caliber.
yeah, I mean, in
But
baseball, some dudes are throwing, close to 105 out the bullpen. I don't
yeah,
stand a chance. And then the dudes that don't throw 100 will throw like 97. And I'm like, that doesn't seem much slower in my brain. And then you got to think fastballs that aren't that fast move.
mm,
So, Bryce Harper said it the best, and I'm a big fan of baseball. I love baseball. It's my first love. Will forever be my first love. He said you can do everything right. You can hit the ball, you could square it up, you could hit that thing as hard as you can, and somebody will still catch it and you'll be out. And to me, that's how golf is. You can hit that ball right in the middle of your driver, smack dab in the middle. You get the most satisfying ping, crack of the ball, whatever, and it'll still go right. Like it, technically, you did everything right, and it's still wrong. And I think that's where lessons are really great because, like you said, you worked on your grip, you worked on everything. I didn't, I was like, I don't need a grip. Grips are stupid. And now all of a sudden, I'm like overlapping my fingers, and I'm like, oh, that feels good. So, golf and baseball to me are very similar in the fact that you can do everything right and still be wrong.
yeah, absolutely. And I think, I mean, lessons, I think it also comes down to the coach.
Oh, yeah.
So he was kind of like a life coach to me, and his nonprofit is called Ego Free Golf, which means
Hmm.
just taking the ego away from golf. And whenever I went in there, I'm a very hard-headed person, but I've also been like I never think I know more than anybody else. And I think that's the moment you start thinking you know more is the moment you stop growing. There's always
Hmm.
something to learn from anybody. And as long as there's somebody better than me in golf, there's always something I can learn in golf. I'm never gonna think I'm good enough to do anything. And I enjoy the whole process because even every once in a while, I could get taught a lesson, and then a month from now, I go back to my bad habits. So it's, I don't know. And longevity too. I do want to, like, I don't want to blow out my back or do something wrong, which then down the line affects something. So might as well learn it good from the get-go and just hone my craft.
Whenever I play with anybody, I feel like it's a lesson. And I wish Derek was here to tell everything that he yells at me for on the golf course. Um, he yells at me to keep my head down constantly. And I'm like, Derek, my head was down. He goes, no, I moved. And we'll bicker like an old married couple. And ultimately, I know he's right because I can't see myself. I can't, you know what I mean? Um,
Hmm.
my friend who models, her name's Jess. Jess picked up golf as well. So whenever she and I play, she's always like, hey, I felt like I did that really well, but I didn't get the result. What did I do wrong? And that's the only time I ever give anybody feedback because nobody wants my feedback when we're playing golf. I'm not a professional, I'm not a coach. I don't know everything. I'll never know everything because God knows my scores do not say I know everything. But when somebody wants to learn and somebody can put their ego aside, I think that's where coaching and lessons and stuff like that can really change somebody. Like you said, you're hard-headed. I'm stubborn as hell. I think I'm right every day of the week, and I'm wrong like 90% of the time. I learn new stuff every day. I learned new stuff at work today that I didn't know, and I was like, well, that sucks. Now I gotta call that person back. Um, and I did, and I was like, hey, my bad. Learning from it, we're moving on, keep it pushing. Um, but when somebody says, hey, you've been doing this longer, what can I do? That's to me the only time I give feedback, and that's when I feel like a coach. And to me, a good coach is that type of person where if you ask, they kind of put it all down and like, well, you did this part extremely well, but, and then XYZ. So it's just like having a good teacher in school. Um, in high school, we split up chemistry into Chem A and Chem B. I bombed Chem A, like, did not understand a single word of chemistry. And like, it's just how my brain works. But Chem B, I had this really great teacher, and I don't want to say I aced it, but compared to Chem A, I aced it. Like I don't know what clicked with the harder part of it or the secondary part of it. It clicked, I understood it, and it felt like I was like doing the stuff in my head, and it was one of those amazing feelings. Well, fast forward to summer school, because obviously you can't fail a class in high school and not retake it. I didn't want to take it the next year and push it back. I had the same teacher in summer school and I tested out of it in a week. And to me, a good coach is like a good teacher, and a good teacher is like a good coach. It goes hand in hand. It's all about how you, one, receive information you're being given and how you act on that information. Um, like to me, Derek's a great coach, but to others, Derek, they might just see Derek yelling at me, which is fine. That's how I learn. If you yell at me enough, I'll get it through my head. Um, It just takes a little bit because there's one, there's a lot of hair, and two, it's a thick skull. Like there's a lot going on in there. So um yeah, man, kudos to you for taking lessons still. 'Cause that's one of those things that I would go in there being a little cocky, and then I'd swing, and that ball would not go anywhere, and then my ego would just shatter, and I'd be like, okay, buckle up, and I got to learn something today. Um, That's also why, I try to do the podcast every week because I learn something new and I get to share experiences and, maybe you'll say something that'll stick with me and I'll be on the golf course being like, oh, Nico said that. I should try that today. So if you have any tips for me, I'm all ears. But boy, let me tell you, I broke a 90, I think once, and that was like the best feeling of my life. I was like, hell yeah. Like, do it again. And I've never done it again, which is fine. Did it once. That's okay. But back to the LGA, starting the winter of 2024, trying to see what I've retained. Um, since 2024. It's only been, I mean, you probably just hit what, 2 years? Well, year and a half. 2 years
Yeah,
will
a
be
year and a
winter of
half.
26.
Hmm.
Um, what lessons have you learned from day one to now? You can drink your water. I didn't mean to.
No, you're good. No, I get it really like dry mouth. But the lessons I've learned since we started, um, because we started it more as we really didn't know what we were building. When we first started, we did our first meetup. We partnered up with an indoor golf simulator. Um, we did our first meetup. We reserved two bays, and we had around 15 people, 15 or 12 people, give or take, which was a lot more people than we thought, right? And I mean, a lot of them were our friends. Some of them were people we didn't know, but mostly we knew everybody there that they somehow got into golf. So we started to just get a community going. And then we started getting other partnerships. We did an event at a different golf simulator place. We got over a 70, 80 people. So then we
Hmm.
were like, okay, we might have something going, right? Like we try to make it fun, make because traditionally golf isn't that exciting. And in the indoor golf space we have music there, we have drinks, and people just love to network, and we're really in touch with the networking aspect of it. So that's one of the lessons that we started to learn was how to incorporate and make golf more fun and bring in new people. Because we kind of use that as a pipeline of bringing in more people to get more people interested into what we have to offer. So we do LGA nights, which is just indoor golf sim, which is we reserve now the whole building. It's 8 bays. And we get like around 150 plus people every time we do them. And we do them once a quarter. So every 3 months we do it. And then from there we launch kind of what we have going on for that quarter. It's kind of like our big pipeline. A lot of them are just there to network. But one of the lessons for sure that I wish we would have focused a lot more at the beginning was just being having a better database on all the people going in. So we've been collecting like everybody's email, phone number, etc. But having them there, I wish I would have done a better job in asking questions to kind of like what do they want? Because so far it has been just kind of what do I think uh we should be doing. But now this year we're kind of focusing more on seeing what people are more interested in, which is now how we got our league. We're now going to do a girl only golf outing. So there's a big population of girls, and a big thing too is lessons people want to take. Want us to get people to teach lessons. So now we're going to get golf coaches during the summer to get people in. So that's definitely one of the things we've learned. It's more to how to better utilize our data and ask more questions to see what needs need to be filled.
That is such a good answer. I don't even know what to say. Um, like that's, I mean, to start off with, 15, 20 people and then 80 to now, you have a building full of people that, respect you enough to go to an event every quarter, network, talk to you guys, and then are genuinely interested in what you guys are doing is great. Um, and I like that you're doing a women's league type thing. Um, I've been a big advocate of getting more women involved with golf. Um, the hard part is you and I will never know what it's like to be a woman in a male-dominated sport. That is like the kicker. Like that is the part that is like the hardest thing, right? We go to the course and it's just like, whatever. You know, Jess goes to the course alone and now everyone's like looking at her and blah 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 and it's almost uncomfortable. So that's awesome. I know we try to go to co-ed events to help out our local women's league. It's Northern Greens Golf. Shout out Abby. She does a great job running and facilitating uh women's coaches and stuff like that. So I'm always a big fan when people do that because I think it's awesome. I mean, a group of ladies out there having fun and playing golf without a care in the world. Like to me, if I was a woman, that would be like heaven, especially if you like golf. Um, and her code events are great. I'm always one of the few guys, but they're always like asking me questions, and I'm like, I don't know. Watch this drive. And then it goes like 4 feet, and I'm like, beat it, and then they'll smoke me. So it's always a good feeling. Um, one thing I wish we had started earlier, um, looking back at it, I'm extremely jealous of people who do well locally, within their own state, within their own community. Like it sounds like you guys are rocking and rolling in Nebraska, which is amazing. Obviously nothing but the best to you guys.
Thank you.
But here in Minnesota, we don't have that pull or the followers. Like I can look at all like the listening analytics and data and everything, and Minnesota does not like us. So that's something I wish we had started on earlier in the podcast life was focusing on local stuff instead of doing events in California first. Like we did do an event here in Minnesota, but a lot of the people flew in to Minnesota. So there's a difference, right? I wish we had started, and like this is like a lesson that I had learned. I wish we started doing more stuff locally, kind of like what you guys are doing. I think the power to have something locally is so much better than being like, oh, dude, I'm big in California. That's great and all, but it's like I'd love to be able to throw like a little meetup here. Like ultimately, like you talking about that made me a little jealous because I'm like, "God, that sounds like so much fun. Not having to go on an airplane to meet up with all the people that support you. Just go out the front door, drive 10, 15 minutes to like the local sim place and being like, hey guys, I'm Dominic. I run this podcast, but I'd love to get to know you guys all, or all of you guys. I think there's so much power in that. And it always makes me happy when other companies do it, but damn, I wish we had that too. So that's something or I should say, I currently am working on. And if you have any advice, DM me because I'd love to sit down and listen and talk to you about just that for hours. Um, because my God, I wish I had that power here and not power in like a greedy way, but just like beat up with people, like-mindedness in the community. I think that'd be amazing. So kudos. I'm jealous, but in a good way. Like you kind of lit a little bit of a fire under me. I want to do it. Like I think that sounds so cool.
No, absolutely. I mean, and for us, it has always been community first and local, especially with kind of what we do. Like we're all part of different boards. We're really big in networking. So whenever we started doing the LGA, it was pretty easy for us to get more people into it, just because we've been involved within the community in so many different ways that when we started this, we had a lot of support on it. And now people are looking at us as one of the pillars within the community as far as golf space goes and bringing in people together. Because a lot of people don't come to our events specifically for the golf. I mean, there's only 8 sims. We do close it to the pin competition on some, long drive on the other, and the other three are reserved for our members only and our sponsors, so they could do whatever they want. So people don't usually get to play as much, but people just coming for the community aspect of it and the networking behind it. And it just we try to make it really fun. And part of it too is since we're already involved in so many different things, we try to branch out and give back locally. So a big thing too, going back to our road trip when we went to California, there's not many Latinos here in Nebraska that golf, or any golf group really that is Latino. I mean, even the golf space isn't that like I wouldn't say it's too united. Like there's no group in period in Omaha. So we knew in California there was so many of them, a lot of them that we looked up to. So we went just to kind of get an idea on the community over there so we could kind of bring it back to our community and fill in those gaps. We saw the Rasa Golf Tournament. So when we came back to Nebraska, we got invited to a private country club to go see how they do their golf tournament. And they told us that if we could get 80 people, to fill up this golf course that they'll give us a really good deal on it. And
Mhm.
it's one of like the most private golf courses here in Nebraska, or in Omaha, I should say. And we were like, all right, let's do it. We had 30 days, or I think it was 32 days from the moment we signed the contract to the day we had to execute. So we had to create all the branding, marketing, and I didn't even know 100 golfers like in my life, you know what I mean? So it was a very hard thing, but the community really showed up. And during that time, the ice raids had happened in our
Mm.
community. Like 10 days into us like planning the tournament and like 4 days after we launched the marketing campaign because it took us a little bit. And we were thinking of just calling it a quits. But one of our mentors told us like, no, if anything, we should make it even bigger than we thought possible to kind of give hope to our community. And we were like, all right, we dove all in and we raised a really good amount and we donated it all to two separate organizations, SIRA and the Heartland Worker Center. So they were providing free legal counseling and assistance to other local communities or smaller communities. So we've been trying to give back that. We've already handed out two separate scholarships to college students. And now we're having another event in April, which the purpose of that event is to fundraise for free golf lessons for kids throughout the summer. So like we're always in the motto of giving back to the community that has given us so much to us and giving us an opportunity. They're showing up, showing support. So we that's kind of our motto is community first, but definitely nationwide we do want to start growing, which is why I started my own golf page. The Deli has her own golf page too, and that one gets a broader audience than just Nebraska. But our Nebraska page, our LGA page, gets pretty good impressions. I mean, it's not nothing compared to our personal ones. Our personal ones get over like 2 million, a million each. But our local one, we get like 100, 150K. And we have a pretty even split. We get 60% male, 40% female on our,
Wow.
yeah, and our indoor golf sim too. We get like a very even split. It's almost at times it's been more girls than guys that come to our events. Like we really try to make a welcoming environment. And you always gotta market to the girls first because the guys are gonna
Mm.
come regardless. So that's kind of our motto, making it everybody feel like a safe space. And at the end of the day, people just want to have fun.
Guys are, and I mean, I can say this being a guy, but we're such simple creatures that, yeah, you don't have to market shit to guys. You'd be like, hey, there's beer and simulators, and guys are like, where do I sign up? Like, you're absolutely, you have to market to the women. Um, I'm gonna say this in like the most endearing way possible, but you know who you guys kind of remind me of? There's a couple dudes down in California. They're called Big Choke Golf. And I love those guys from the bottom of my heart. They're always such good dudes. I think they're in Monterey, California. They're like right on the water, and it's beautiful. Um, they're all about giving back to their community. I need to reach out to them now that I'm talking about them. I love those two dudes, but they've been giving away scholarships to high schoolers so they can afford college, and they do it all off of events that they host, and they're big in their community. And if you go to California and you're in the golf space and you mention Big Choke, everybody's like, oh man, those are like the best guys. And it's because of how community driven they are and how much that they believe in not just their community, but the youth in their community. Um, so I love that you're giving back. Oh, excuse me. I have a cough drop in, so I'm not hacking up a lung and it's getting in the way of me talking. Um, but I love that you guys are giving scholarships and, doing all that stuff because it's almost like an unsung hero type thing where it's like, it may only be $1,000, but that's $1,000 that they may not have had before, or a couple $100. No, nothing's too big or too small when it comes to the gift of giving a scholarship or education or shit. Even here's a gift card to go buy golf clubs. Like that could jumpstart a future PGA Pro, LPGA Pro. You don't know. Hey, that's kind of the beauty of it. But listening to you talk about that, I could not help but think of Big Choke. and I encourage you like look them up and follow them. They are incredible dudes, and they do events and stuff like that. Are you looking them up?
Well, I'm just writing it down. That way I
Oh,
don't
I saw
forget.
the screen light up, and I'm like, oh, he's doing it. Um, Great dudes, great individuals. Um, the only negative thing I can say about them is that I miss them. That's not even negative. Great individuals. Yeah. Ooh, getting a 60-40 split's crazy. Like I feel like golf is such a male dominated sport, like we were talking about earlier, that to get 40% women is incredible. Like that's unheard of. Like
And yeah, we've
good
been
for you
getting a very
guys.
good audience with the females, and I think a lot of our marketing is tailored to them. I mean, nothing of our sort of even our flyers. We had a Love and Links LGA night theme,
Hmm.
and it's like all pink, it's hearts. So it's I don't know, we try to really incorporate the fun aspect of it. And for the most part, any girl that comes, they started formulating their own sort of community that comes out here because they also want to be represented. And a lot of them are, we tailor a lot to young professionals for the most part. So a lot of them are barely getting into their field and they get invited to golf outings, but they also want to be a part of it. So we kind of give them that platform. And nothing of ours LGA branding, I'd say, is too male focused.
Hmm.
I mean, the only thing that has really been a lot of males has been our league, our indoor league. I think we only had four girls out of what is it, 28 individuals. So that one was a little bit more lopsided, but for the most part, they had a really great time, which is why now we're gonna start doing the lessons and doing a girls only event so we could bring in more girls and see how big we could grow that. And then Nadeli's gonna take that aspect of it. Francisco's gonna focus a lot on the young development, especially now after we're gonna get funding after this tournament. Because our goal is to get more a kid maybe 10 years from now, 7 years from now, say or get a golf scholarship and say they got it because LGA introduced them to the sport of golf and helped them fund it and realize that there's scholarship opportunities for golf, which is why they got one, right? Like that would be a full circle moment for us. We would love to do that. And even like another full circle moment going back to the Pinnacle Bank Championship where Francisco went in 2024. Well, in 2025, they reached out to us and they gave us like 50 free tickets to the Pinnacle Bank Championship, which is the Corn Ferry Tour event that they have here. And we gave them all out to everybody that came to our LGA night. And we went as a big group of Latinos going out to the Corn Ferry Tour. We had VIP bracelets, and it was a whole like I don't know. We grew so fast in that short period of time, and it's all been because the community supports us, and we try to give back and show that we're genuine people wanting to support our community.
I'm trying to picture 50 rolling deep. Like that's a lot. Like that's so cool, and it sounds really cool. But it's currently March 16th, 2026. So you started winter of 2024. So
Mhm.
what's what's upcoming? What's coming up next for the LGA? Is it are you do obviously you've been referencing a tournament from somebody who's helped host and throw four of them. Uh I've been known to get my foot wet in the planning committee and stuff like that. It's not fun, but damn, is it a good feeling. But what's next for the LGA for 2026?
Yeah, so we're gonna do our first ever. We're calling it the LGA Community Golf Classic. Um, so that one's gonna be on April 25th, where we're just doing a golf tournament, and right after our tournament, we're having a family putt-putt event. So in this golf course, they have a 9-hole putting green. And so we're having a whole community event there. We're having different vendors or community resources coming here. We're having different games. So after the tournaments for people to enjoy, which is why it's the LGA Community Golf Classic. We want the whole community to come out and experience it. Um, that's gonna help fund everything for the kids throughout the summer. We're gonna do our first ever outdoor league and then our first ever event with the girls, which we don't have a date scheduled. And then on June 29th, we're having our second annual, which is our flagship tournament called the Somos One Golf Tournament. So that's a 12-hour event that we have in that country club. It's like a whole party celebration. So that's, yeah, just to give you a little insight, we had it,
Yeah.
it's mariachi in the morning. So uh, shotgun's at 11. So we're there since 9. So we open it up with the range. We have mariachi from 9 to 11. So they're getting that. They're getting pan dulce. While they're on the golf course, we had two separate music groups playing in separate tee boxes. We had three different DJs at the other three tee boxes playing while people are playing. And then on the turn, we had a taco truck giving free tacos. In one of the holes, we had michelada mix. Like they were giving
Hmm.
out mixed drinks. We had paleteros going on. For dinner, we had folkloric dancers, which they did a 30-minute performance while people were eating dinner. And then we had a whole banda after party where we invited the whole community out to participate from 5 all the way to 10 o'clock. So it was like a full hour, full event. We get a lot of music. We just try to make fun, which is kind of goes ties to our mission of making golf more fun, accessible, rooted in community culture and connection, right? That's kind of what we try to do. So that's kind of what we have going on for this year.
So I'm on record as saying I'll never move away from Minnesota. I love it here, other than the political stuff going on right now. Hate that. But in terms of Minnesota, I love it. You make me kind of want to move to Omaha, just like a little bit, just to join the party. Um, like I was sold at mariachi for like 2 hours. I was like, that would be sick. Like people are checking in, you get the live music, like that's a vibe, and then you get the taco truck. And I'm not a whenever we throw events, I've never understood the point of a DJ. Like that's just my brain does not think that way. I
Mm.
don't know. That's just me. Um, but then you get three of them, and then two live band. Like, come on, that
Yeah, I mean it's about getting experience, like teeing
right?
off while having live music behind you. Like that would be a crazy picture shot that I would put on my profile picture.
So what we
And
did was we did walk up songs. So everybody had the chance to walk up. We had Spotify ready and this big ass speaker that Ralph lugged over from San Diego. And Derek's like, "What's your song?" And then everybody saying their song. And then all of a sudden, it's just a vibe you could hear from the first tee box. And like that's all we did for like the DJ. And like to me, I'm like, that's sick. Like you get a walk up song. To your point, hell yeah. Like you get that picture taken and you teeing off, there's a band behind you. You're kind of balling for like that minute. Like you're balling.
yeah, and they have two opportunities to get that picture.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And then you get the michelada mix later on.
Yeah, and they're all local too. All the music groups. A lot of them are younger. Well, some of them were older folks, but a lot of them were younger kids that's formulated their group. So they've only been playing for like 2 years. Um, and we really try to put them on. And now they're fully booked out. I'm not saying it's because of us. I mean, they're very talented in their own ways. But that's kind of what we want to do with our tournament is give other people the opportunity that are barely starting their music group playing. You could come play in our tournament, we'll pay you, and like we'll be your first gig or your 20th gig if they've already been playing for a while. So just giving them a platform. Because from our tournament, a lot of them got bookings. Um, a lot of them were asking for the reference. So it's just an experience. I tell people too, we're not. we're not a cheap tournament because it costed us, I think our tournament costed us 38 grand to
Hmm.
throw.
It, it
Um,
it adds up quick, like way
yeah,
quick.
yeah, especially yeah, with everything going on, like it adds a lot. And the thing is, we wanted people to have an experience. And when we decided to throw the tournament, we weren't necessarily too focused on profits, but then we had to donate money back. So that kind of was like, okay, now we got to raise more money. But when we
Yeah.
first started, we were okay with just breaking even. Um, because we wanted to showcase that us Latinos can also throw a tournament in one of an exclusive club in Omaha, and not only just throw a tournament, but throw the best tournament that Nebraska has. You know, like show them like we gotta go all out, go big or go home.
I mean, anything I've ever been involved in that had Latinos and music and a party, it's always been like the best party. I was lucky enough and fortunate enough to be invited to the carne asada at Raul's house. And this is after I'd been like drinking tequila all day on the golf course. So like I was like screaming and hollering at everybody already. And now we're in Raul's front side yard. Bro, houses in California are weird with their setup. I
Oh
don't know
yeah.
where the fuck I was, but I was in a yard with a charcoal grill and carne asada. And if that alone was the tournament and like not having to like wake up the next morning and throw the event, I would have been 110% okay with that. Like it's always unreal with those vibes and stuff like that. Um, my favorite thing we ever did at a tournament, the last one we did was in SoCal, and I had brought my drone, and I had this like I was perched up at like a par three course or at our close to the pinhole. I just had my drone just hovering. I'm like, if we get a hole in one, I got it. Perfect. And it's Vincente, his group. Vincente runs and owns Campo Golf, another really great Latino-owned company in California. And one of his guys hits it, and I'm like, oh, that might go in. And I'm watching it through like my phone on the drone, and I got it. It lips out, and it's one of those things where I am screaming, and they have no idea why, because they can't see it. And they walk up and they're like, Dom, did it go in? I'm like, no, even better, it lipped out. They're like, how's that better? I'm like, I got it on the drone. So I sent it to Vincente and he sent it to his buddy and then he emailed me back. I don't know why he didn't just like message me back. He emails me. He goes, bro, my buddy is geeking right now. So what I'm saying is if you can get a drone, get the fucking drone and just have the dude perch up. You'll get some shots.
No, yeah, we definitely we wanted to do more activations, and that's kind of something we started too, was called the LGA experience. So now we've been getting hired out for other nonprofits, one to participate in like not only their golf tournaments, but their networking events. And we have a mobile golf sim. We now have a photo booth experience. We have a golf air cannon as well. So
Oh hell yeah.
we've been getting hired now to go to other golf tournaments to do like whole activations to fundraise, to help them fundraise and also helps us fundraise as well. So we just split it 50-50 on like whatever we raise. So that's been kind of like a new thing that we've been rolling out because I want people to when they think of LGA to think about fun. So that's one of our biggest core things is they know it's an LGA event, it's gonna be fun. So whatever event we throw, we always have to do it like sort of bigger than usual, which is why our April 25th event, we're having that putt-putt event afterwards. So it's not as long as our other almost one tournament, but it's still a 9 hour event, 5 hours of golf and then 4 hours of community event afterwards. So it's just to try to incorporate that fun aspect into everything.
I'm already having fun and I'm not even going. Like I would go. Um, but we talked about the LGA. I want to learn more about Nico, the guy sitting here. So we're gonna do what we call rapid fire questions. They will not be quick, and you can think about it. You don't have to just like I know this, right? Super basic though. I'm not gonna grill you. You're not gonna be like, oh wow, I have to do math. I can't do math. I'm not gonna make you do math. But of all the clubs in your bag, which one's your favorite one currently?
Ooh,
Yeah, that's a tough one.
that is a tough one. Um, Damn, that's a really good one.
There's a correct
I would,
answer too.
I would say my 60 degree. Either that or my putter. But there's nothing like hitting a chip shot and getting it to spin back. Like,
Oh,
I really, I don't know. I could use that club for any situation, and I don't know. It's my favorite club in the bag.
that's the correct answer. Like,
Oh, yeah?
yeah, I love my 60. I've got 52, 56, 60. My 56 and 60 are Vokey SM9s. And lately I've been obsessed with trying to flop shot everything, which is like the wrong way to play golf. But oh my God, you get one flop shot and you get that thing to go up and just drop down, and then you get like that itch to do it over and over and over. Kind of fucks up your
No,
life in a little bit. But yeah, you hit that chip shot and it rolls back. Mm, nothing better.
no, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I've been chipping it in a lot lately as well. I was on a streak. I was three rounds in a row chipping it in until I broke it. My last two rounds, I haven't chipped it in, but
Oh, I thought you meant you broke your club. I'm like, oh damn.
no, I'd be sad. But yeah, no, funny enough, I do also have a 52 and 56.
To me,
Um,
to me personally, that's like the best. I mean, it fills all the holes for me in my bag. Like it's perfect. Um, I'm lucky enough to get to work with a bunch of companies. Bomb Tech, one of my favorite companies, sent me a 72-degree wedge. That thing is straight up just like flat open. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, and my God, I love it.
oh, what? That's
It's like
crazy.
it's like not legal to play with at
Oh, it's
all.
not legal?
No, 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 no. I either skull it 100 yards or I like get under it perfectly and it goes like four. And there's no in between and I love it. It's so much fun. Um, I'll have to send you a picture of it because it is absolutely ridiculous and I love showing it to people because it's just so dumb.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people like the 69 degree,
Yeah.
but I never knew there was a 72. That has to beat the top of the list.
Yeah, it's when we had Willis on, he's like, it's sold out. And then before I knew it, it was like at my front door. And I'm like, oh, so you lied to me. It wasn't sold out. And it is the most ridiculous club I own, and I love it to pieces. And it doesn't get used enough because I'm almost embarrassed to carry it around just because, like, when am I going to use it? But whenever I get to do like a play hole with me and they sponsor it, I'm like, yeah, we're pulling this thing out and just seeing what I can do. And it's ridiculous. And I love that club. Um, see, like I said, they're not rapid fire, but I mean, whenever you get to talk about wedges and putters, I'm all for it. I love my putter too. I currently it's a blue Mizuno putter with a ping grip, and I love it. Love it to pieces. Never switching.
Yeah, I got the Tacoma wedges.
I've heard
Um,
good things about their clubs.
yeah, they're really because I just got the irons as well. Because I got fitted for something else, but I really wanted to get the Tacoma, so I'm like, they don't know what they're talking about. I'm gonna just get them. And I just got the wedge sets, and then my putter is the lab putter.
Oh,
Although
okay.
I am thinking of switching it.
Probably a good idea because we have a big group chat. We talk shit about people with lab putters. Um, as in we, I mean it's mainly me. I really want to have lab on the pod 'cause I think what they're doing is fascinating, and I just want to pick their brain. Um, but they won't come on, which is probably fair. Um, but me, Jesse from Stogies and Bogies, and John from Back Nine Bullies, we all talk shit about people with labs. We're all like, damn, if they had a lab, they'd make that putt, and then they full on just whiff it. And we're just like, doesn't help like people say. I think what they're doing is fascinating though. Like it's a little expensive for kind of a putter, but people shell out thousands for stupid Scotty Camerons. So what do I know about putters apparently? But anyways, so we figured out you like your 60 and your putter. Perfect. That's two clubs in the bag. If you had to play 18 holes with just one club, what would it be? And this is including like you got to putt with it, you got to drive with it, you got to do everything with it.
Damn, that's a tough one.
I know I always like to tell people I won't grill you with the questions, but they're not easy.
Um, Damn, yeah, that's a really good question. I would say either, if I'm just gonna pick one, I'd say like my seven.
Mm, I feel like that's
I
the
think
safe pick.
yeah, you could get, I mean, you're not gonna drive the green or anything, but I think that one's one of the clubs that I hit more consistently. And it's also lofted enough in case I do get in trouble that I
Hmm.
can still do a little chip shot. And I could also get it flat enough to be able to putt with it. So I think it'd be one of the most versatile clubs that I could probably play 18 with.
See, I have a theory about this, and this is solely based on the way I use my clubs and the way I play golf. I think a 3 wood is the best
Mm,
answer for this. And let me explain it. Okay. So you could drive a green with it if you're good enough, right? Without a shadow of a doubt, you could drive a green. We've seen pros do. I know people are better at their 3 iron, or I'm sorry, their 3 wood than they are their driver. Cool. Perfect. You're driving the green. But I play a lot of bump and runs. It's like my
mm,
favorite thing to pull out of the bag is guys, watch this. And I pull like my 3 wood out like on the edge of the green just to like get it over stuff and then have it roll out. So you already got the green covered. And because of the angle of the face, you could putt with it. The only issue with the 3 wood is like the shorter par threes.
yeah.
But if you're me, you're topping it anyways. It's gonna roll out and you're gonna be on the green in two, and then you're putting for par.
Cool. Yeah.
See?
Yeah, that was one of my concerns too. I was like on the short par threes, or what if you got to shoot it over the water, but you can't
See
shoot it
that
too far out?
that was my other thought because otherwise I'm like, God, I love my 4 iron, but I'm like, that's a little bit harder, shorter distance because it's a 4 iron. Like you're gonna be smoking it. But 7 iron safe if you're a little bit more risky and don't play golf conventionally like I do. 3 iron, or I'm sorry, 3 wood. Perfect. That or like my 2 iron. I think it'd be super fun. Um, Mainly because I'm super inconsistent with it. So it either goes 200 yards or 50. So it's perfect for all the holes you might run into.
Nice. I like that answer.
Yeah, you're picking up. I'm very inconsistent with golf, and I love it. I never know what version of Dom is gonna show up that day, and it's always a crapshoot. It's either like, "Wow, Dom, you're great today," or "What the fuck are you doing?" And there's no in between, and I love it. Um, the final rapid fire question, you may have to think about this, and that's okay. So it's hole one, and we're gonna imagine it's your event, and you're doing like um I can't think of the word. For some reason, the only thing that came to my mind is the sacrificial tee off, which is not at all what I want to say. You're doing like a celebrity tee shot or like what they do at the Masters with like the old guys teeing off first.
Mm.
You know what I'm talking about?
When they do with the old guys in the Masters.
Yeah, like they tee off first. I can't think of the word. My brain hurts trying to think about this, but it's your event. You're doing like a celebrity shot, whatever. Just like get the event hyped up and going.
Uh,
What is your walk-up song?
yeah, that's a good one. That's a good
See,
question.
and it's something you could do because if you're gonna do a DJ, you might have to be put in this. Like I did a celebrity shot and it did not go well, but I did one. Shout out that group. You guys regretted that immediately.
Um, that's a good one. I think I would have two different answers depending on who I'm around with. But if I was with my buddies and I didn't care about what people thought and I was in near sponsors, I would put the song Asshole by Mike Sherm.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you ever
Huh.
heard that song?
Probably, and I didn't know what it was. You know what I mean? Like I listen to a lot of music, or like I hear a lot of music, I should say, and I'm like, oh, that's a great song, and then I never look at like who it is or what the song name is. I'm kind of one of those people. Um,
Hmm.
but what if you were around sponsors and you were kind of keeping it a little bit more corporate-y? What would the what would that one be?
I would have to probably go with um here, can I see look it up real quick?
Oh yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
I
yeah.
have it saved actually.
So for me, I am I am Dominic 24/7, 365, unfortunately for a lot of people. Um, and the reason I had to go into the office last month was we did like an in-person training and they asked us all these questions. And they're like, "What is your hype song?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm just kind of answering things truthfully. I didn't expect this to be like in a big pamphlet about everybody attending." And I get to the room and some kid from across room goes, "Hey, did you pick Key Glock as your hype song?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Fucking A, right, you did." And then sat down and I was like, "Was that the wrong answer?" So for me, my walk-up song is 1997 by Key Glock, just because it gets me amped up and ready to and ready to hit that ball straight right into the grass or into the water, whatever's over there.
No, I like it. I think mine would have to be I thought I had it saved. But it's an older song. I think uh gosh, I know I can't think of it. And I have it saved somewhere. I want to get make sure it's the right one.
You're as bad as me trying to think of what the tee shot is called, and now I'm gonna get absolutely roasted. We have a fact checker. His name's Greg. Greg's gonna fact check this, and I know I'm gonna wake up Friday morning and he's gonna be like, "You fucking idiot. This is the word." And I'll be like, "Ah, yep, that's the word. Ceremonial. That's the word.
Ceremonial.
Yeah. Ceremonial tee shot. Sacrificial. See,
You know what?
that's why we need
I
Derek.
put Doses and Mimosas. I'll
Okay.
just do that one. I
Okay.
really I don't know, even when I'm driving, that's kind of one of those songs where it just gets me in the mood.
Yeah. To me, that's what a walk-up song should be. It could get me kind of like amped up and ready to go.
Yeah, like, cause I can get too hyped up. Cause if I get too hyped up, then I'm gonna not hit it too good.
I mean, what's wrong with
But
that? Oh no, you hit the ball too good.
oh
Oh
no,
no.
not too good. I mean, I'll hit it like bad. Uh,
Oh,
even
I
if
know
I
what
let
you
my
mean.
emotions get in the way.
Oh,
But
I
yeah,
thought you're like, oh no, you hit the ball too good. Like, damn, I wish I had that issue.
I wish I hit it good. I mean, I still get nervous when people watch over me. But I think it's also like a big plus of doing a lot of events indoors. Like it's indoors, there's only eight bass being played. Like you're having 20 people watch you as you hit. So you kind of get that nervousness out of the way.
I will say with outdoor events, nobody cares. Like nobody cared who was teeing off at the first tee first. Like as long as they make their time, they don't care. They're more interested in finding me or Derek or getting their grips redone by Grips on the Go or whoever. Um, Nobody cares. So if you do end up doing a walk up song and just hitting, nobody's gonna bat an eye. So just keep that in mind and it'll calm you down. Don't worry.
No, yeah, you're right. They're more worried about themselves as well than they are of you.
Or the vendors or whoever, right? Like it take it with a grain of salt. Unless you want to blast like 1997 by Key Glock, you might get some eyes and people be like, damn, he knows music. And then they're gonna watch you absolutely duff that ball and they'll be like, ah, should not have looked over. But Nico, thank you so much for joining me. Um, I'm nowhere. Well, I guess I'm kind of near Nebraska in a weird way, and geographically. I've never been so pumped to go to a state that I have never even wanted to go to. So if I'm ever in your neck of the woods, I'll hit you up. But
No.
I did lie to you. We do have one more question, and it's arguably my favorite one. Um, I love food. It's no surprise. I love to eat. I love food. I love trying different food. If I'm ever in Omaha, where are we going for breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Ooh, that's very good. Very good question. Um, so for breakfast, I would really, I mean, I'm probably not like a big foodie person, but I do love like for breakfast to go to Early Bird. Do you have Early Bird over there? I don't even know if it's a nationwide
I have
franchise.
no idea what early bird
No?
is,
Oh,
other than
okay.
it
Even
sounds like a great breakfast spot though.
even better. All
Yeah.
right. And then for lunch, I there's so many like great places to eat here in Omaha. Um, but I would probably take you to this taco place, Taqueria Tijuana, down in
Mm,
South O. For dinner, you're in Nebraska, you gotta try the Omaha steaks.
I figured.
Yeah, you gotta try the steak. They're really good. But then I'll even add one more. You know, we're gonna be out partying. We're gonna get back. We're gonna get hungry. So I would have originally said McDonald's because I love McDonald's, but there's this really good place that's open very late, especially on the weekends, called La Fogata, and they have some tortas, and that's where everybody goes after the clubs to just go and get some spicy food, and then like it gets you down on like sobers you up for sure.
Listen, I would have been okay with McDonald's. I would have been pumped if used to Taco Bell 'cause I love Taco Bell. It's like my guilty pleasure. That's not a guilty pleasure because everybody knows how much I love Taco Bell. Even though I know it's not real Mexican food, don't come at me. I'm well aware. I get it. But you're telling me those cheap ass little tacos don't hit at like 11:30? Like, come on, you're lying to yourself. I would smash a torta at like midnight. Like that sounds so good. Um, I had one recently, or at least the last time I had a torta, it was a fuck, I'm blanking on it. Again, they're gonna yell at me. By they, I mean Ralph. What is it with the pineapple? And I'm blanking.
The Al
Al
Pastor?
Pastor. Yeah, it was an Al Pastor torta. And they like blackened the chicken, grilled the pineapple. It was so good. And that thing, like I was incredibly sober when I ate it. But if I was incredibly drunk, I think it would have sobered me up in the best way. It's so good. So when you said torta, I was like, hell yeah. I need to try some new ones.
No, yeah, the turkeys are good, but yeah, no, I'm a big McDonald's. I have so many points on the McDonald's app. But I give it up for lit. So I'm going through a
Mm,
little detox of McDonald's, you know.
you
It's
know,
pretty hard.
but you'll appreciate it more next month or whenever Lent ends. I don't
Oh,
remember.
absolutely. It's in Easter. Oh,
Oh, okay.
I'm getting the whole menu.
You'll probably be able to afford it though, your points.
No, yeah, and I had to use some of my points prior to Lent because they were gonna expire during
Yeah,
the month of Lent. So
that's how they get you.
I was wasting some of them right before, but I have still have plenty.
Huh. Damn, I kind of want some like fries and like a shake. That sounds good. I shouldn't have said that out loud because I'm sure you want one too, and that was probably not very good of me to say. But Nico, thank you so much. It's been super fun to learn about LGA and what you guys are doing in Nebraska, and I hope to see it expand outside of Nebraska. I'd love to see an event in California. I'm trying to think of what states border Nebraska. Is it Iowa?
Yeah, it's like we're real literally like half of our I wouldn't say half of our town, but we're connected to Iowa, and part of the city is in Iowa.
That's what I thought. And then it's Minnesota. So we're like a big L. Okay. I knew it. So if you ever expand, I'd love to see it. I love what you're doing. Keep it up. I hope more people sit down and take notes from what you guys are doing because you're doing it the right way. And I think that's golf needs it. It's important to keep growing this game. I know a lot of people right now are saying shrink it just because of all the people not following the etiquette and everything, but I feel like that's a real bad way to shrink the game. You should educate people, which it sounds like you're doing, which is half the battle. So thank you for your time. Thank you for sitting down and thank you for helping not only Latinos play golf, but also women and the younger generation. I think it's incredible what you guys are doing.
No, well, thank you so much, Dom, for taking time out of your day and reaching out and for giving us a platform for us to kind of showcase what the LGA is about.
I love the LGA. Big fan of you guys. So if you ever need to reach out again or want to sit down again in the future, let me know. Happily do it. Maybe Derek will be back. God knows where he is. Well, I know he's sitting at home. He might, no, he's still awake. 100% he's still awake. If the Wolves are playing, he's watching the Wolves. Um, but anything you need, let me know. More than happy to help.
I appreciate it, Dom. We'll definitely be connected. That's for sure. I want to pick your brain on a lot of different things and see
My
how
brain,
we could work
my my
together.
my brain's a little crazy, so just like heads up. There's a lot going on in here.
No, yeah, but no, yeah, I appreciate you giving us the platform and hopefully you tune in onto our series because we're going to be doing a uh, 100 days out of our tournament. We love to do like a little series documenting every day and kind of the whole path that has taken us here. So hopefully by the time the episode launches, you'll be in one of our series
Oh,
episodes
that'd be
of
cool. I mean,
yeah,
obviously we're still recording, but this one is gonna come out the 20th.
okay. Yeah, because
So
I think we're
4 days.
104 days out from our
Oh,
tournament or something like that. And we're gonna start documenting 100 days out. And
okay.
we're gonna put our goal and what we're trying to raise. It's gonna be a little crazy goal. So
Okay. Well, we won't spoil it, but maybe I might just make it then. Because if we're 104 out, it comes out in 4 days. I might make it. That's what you're saying. There's a chance.
no, yeah, well we'll still put you in. Like
Huh.
we'll be showcasing what kind of we've been doing. But no, our goal is 100K though. 100K in
Okay.
100 days. So it's a very ambitious goal. I mean, if you put it in the limelight, oh, you're trying to make $1,000 a day, it's probably not gonna happen. But you don't get nothing from dreaming small. So even if I get half of that, I'll be happy with us being able to raise 50K.
You know, you don't, like you said, you don't get nothing from dreaming. You don't get anything by staying inside. You got to put yourself out there. You got to be yourself at the end of the day. And I know a lot of people who have great ideas. The difference is they don't execute on those ideas. You guys have a plan, you have an idea, you have a goal. Step one is realizing all that, and step two is executing. So you're executing it, you're at least giving yourself a shot. There's a lot of
No,
people that won't give themselves a shot, which is real sad.
no, absolutely. And I think people just got to dive in into things. Like our big tournament that we did last year, we planned it in 30 days from the moment we signed the contract. It's a very scary thing. And then we have our event on April 25th, which we haven't really even promoted as much yet. Because we just get these ideas and we think it's a great idea. Let's implement it now, which is why we go based off of a quarter. Because I don't know what we're going to do next quarter yet, right? Like we might have a great idea. Even you might give me a great idea. I'm like, you know what? We should do it. And we'll just implement it and see how that goes. That's kind of how my brain works. And I like to just do things rather than having everything figured out. Like everything will turn out fine.
I am somebody who I don't want to say I do well under pressure or being stressed out, but it tells you a lot of who you are as a person. Stress makes or breaks you. Did I throw an event in 30 days? Yeah. Did I sell it out in 30 days? Not a chance in hell. So Uh, that blew my mind. But I feel like if you're not stressed out a little bit going into an event, you didn't do it right. So every event we've done, I've been a little stressed out and on edge. And every event, somebody comes up to me and says, "This is amazing." So I hope you guys get that same feeling that whenever Derek and I and the team that we had also receives, because there's nothing better than seeing your hard work for 100 days pay off and see everybody smile and have so much fun, which I know you guys know that feeling, but it's so much different when it's this big, grand, huge event that you put your blood, sweat, and tears into that's arguably like your first baby. Um, it, it's it's a feeling unlike any other. So I'm rooting for you guys. I hope you guys get that feeling because it's going to make you want to do it over and over and over again, which is kind of the issue.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to figure it out and see what we can develop. And I don't know, we just want to have make people have fun and incorporate fun events into anything we do.
You have the right mindset. The number one thing to remember with events is that was not supposed to be a cliffhanger, is that the people who attend, one, are there for you, right? They're there because they believe in your cause. But the second part is to make sure that they have the time of their lives. We didn't make any money doing events, which was not our focus. We wanted to just make people see that golf is fun and that there are like-minded individuals that are there. So when you go into this event, they are there to support you, they are there to support your team, and they are there to have fun. And it sounds like you guys have understood the fact that they should be fun and not boring.
No, yeah, absolutely. Which is why fun is in our mission statement.
Exactly. But Nico, have a great night. It's I worked all day. I'm a little pooped. Not to just, take you away. I could sit and talk to you for hours, but um ultimately the super long episodes don't do very well. And I kind of want you guys to be seen and get some good, visibility and stuff. So, um, thank you so much for your time. I'm rooting for you guys in the LGA. I know a lot of people are rooting for you guys once I post this. Um, I do want to read you one text message though, and this is how we're gonna end it. So, when I went to my training, I had to text Ralph and Raul, and we're in a group chat called Los Mexicans because it's all the Spanish I know. Even though I'm slowly learning Spanish. So some of the words you said I understood. I said, guys, the head of supply chain stuff at Brooks is Latino. I love it here. And without missing a beat, Raul goes, tell him you are as well. You got picked up in the 2024 racial draft by the Mexican delegation. And then without missing a second beat, Ralph goes, does he golf? Tell him towels for shoes. And that is how we're going to end it, because I know as soon as this episode comes out, they are gonna listen and they're gonna love it and they're gonna wanna shit, you might get Los Golferos to travel to Nebraska, of all places. So good luck. Kudos. Very proud of you. And I hope to hear from you in the future and see how everything went.
No, well, thank you so much, Tom. Thanks for having us here, and you have a lovely night.
Thank you.